it's fairly natural to have a default eschatology. And if you're raised in a church where you didn't have almost any interaction outside of your particular group, which is common in many situations, then you can just sort of assume that everyone has the same eschatology. And once you run into somebody that doesn't, then you automatically think that they're weird, maybe not even a Christian, and you get ready to put up your dukes and have it out.
Come on, show me some free will.
Most Christian seminaries and Bible schools do not deal with the horrible things that John Chrysostom said about the Jews, with the mind-bogglingly atrocious things that Martin Luther wrote about the Jews, and even saying that he would gladly kill a blaspheming Jew. And John Calvin is also guilty of some statements that are negative and biased against Jewish people. Luther was certainly guilty of anti-Semitic writing. Some just say it was anti-Jewish theology, anti-Judaism, but it goes beyond that in much of what he wrote. Here's the problem. When you find it century after century after century, when you find it from leader after leader after leader, you have to say, why did they think that way? The more that vindicates Christianity, as some of the famous church theologians taught, is that the issue? Why is this there so consistent? Look, you've got to recognize church history, Catholic and Protestant church history. In your view, then, as a student of church history, why is it that there has been so much Jew hatred or anti-Semitism or horrific statements? Where do you think it comes from?
What portion of the public teaching or even understanding of what was called the Christian people down through history had any knowledge of what we're even talking about? How many evangelicals today, for example, have ever even sat down and thought about the relationship between Romans 9 and Romans 11? Or struggled with what is the lima, what is the remnant at the beginning of Romans 11, how is that related to all Israel at the end of Romans 11? How many people, honestly, Michael, have sat down and have a conscious understanding of what that is?
People have not been theologically nuanced. They've just known that God has cursed the Jews because the Jews rejected Christ, and it's over for Israel as a nation. The Jews cursed Christ. The fig tree will never bud again. The scattering is a forever scattering. Individual Jews can be saved, but otherwise the nation is under wrath and judgment. Your average person is not thinking it through in a theologically nuanced way.
Well, and I wouldn't even say theologically nuanced, because the very term replacement theology is inaccurate. And I said that in my review. When you're talking about the fulfillment of God's promises, you're not talking about replacement, because very central to the argument, at least the argument as I hold it and as it has been held, I think, for a long time, is that you clearly see the covenant of grace in action from the beginning, in the sense that, what's Paul's argument? Who is a child of Abraham?
Right. The issue would be,
it's always been by faith, right?
Yeah.
Do Jews have a covenant outside of Jesus the Messiah? As a Jewish person, I can say plainly, categorically, no.